All right, so I'm going to get right into it. So I've been watching the show since the beginning, and it's really interesting because you guys were such good friends, you and Cease. Huh?
I said thank you first.
You're welcome. And I just noticed, like, this season, well, let's put it like this. Since season 2, when you guys had that unnatural break between the show and it was off for a couple months, it kind of came back, and it was a whole different show. So I kind of want to go and ask you this question. Like, first, you and Ceasar have been friends for, like, a really long time, right?
I would say more associates now. Like, I thought we were friends, but as I'm starting to look back at stuff, it seems like we were more associates.
Even when you guys were younger, like, he was from childhood, right?
Well, it wasn't really like that. He was more of a person I met through an actual friend. You know what I mean? He was a friend of a friend.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? Like, you know, if you have a friend and they got a friend, and then it all ends up being like everybody chills, you know?
Yeah. So how did it come about that you guys started working with Black Ink, like working in the shop and kind of getting together, you know, in the textile world?
I mean, if you go back, actually it's through the mutual friend that actually introduced us. If you go back in history, the original name of that shop was Black Ink Gallery. And, like, you can Google this and everything and look at the YouTube videos, and you will see that the beginning really, it wasn't even none of the people you see on the show. You know what I mean? Some of the people wasn't even a part of it at all. And it was just a business that was in Harlem, you know what I mean? And it was like a staple. You know, we did a lot of different things, and it's, like, crazy to see so many people that was part of it in the beginning. Like, you know, if you look back, there's a footage of ASAP Ferg. He did a gallery opening at Black Ink way back in the day, you know what I mean? And this was before he was a rapper, and, like, you know, different things like that. We, like, worked with a lot of different people, and it was just a really cool business. And Ceasar was working there, and I was managing it, and it had another owner at the time, you know what I mean, somebody who had invested their money into it. And, you know, right when the show started, when we first started filming, like, the pilot, business started going left because you're filming a TV show and you're not really doing business, you know what I mean? There was, like, a lot going on at that time. And, you know, paperwork ended up putting the shop in Ceasar's hands, you know what I mean, through another investor. Somebody invested into the show in their shop, and they put Ceasar's name on it, you know what I mean? They didn't, and that's what ended up happening, you know? So it's so funny when he goes so hard saying how I'm not a boss and an owner, but the same exact thing that he got Black Ink as is the same way that my shop came about. It's kind of funny.
Right. So basically, he's kind of the front man for Black Ink, or is he an owner now?
Well, I guess maybe if he finally got the money to the person, who knows. I really don't know about his personal business, but at first he was a front. Okay,
so it could have changed. So it's the same dynamic right now with your shop too, right? I mean, like you're
more or less.
Okay.
It was like it's an investing person. That's how that goes. You know what I mean? Like anybody who does know business, you know, that's been with rappers to athletes to everything. You know, there's people who see a person with talent, or I guess they can make money off that person, and they invest into them. And,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? But then how perceive it on TV, you know what I mean? Like people really will believe anything they hear and not understand actual business, you know? So it's kind of funny.
No, it's true, and it's like there's a lot more to it than people really do understand.
Like don't really know. It's like that was a whole year worth of footage shot. You know what I mean? And you're just getting little 1 hour splurts of a year worth of footage. You know, so there's a lot more that goes on, and people don't really.
Do you guys do shoot for a whole year, or do you guys do like a 6 month run?
Well, I mean, it's depending on what it is. We have shot for a year for this past season. It was definitely like a year. I feel like it definitely was a year. It felt like it just never ended. It just kept going.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it can probably get, like, tedious with the camera always following you everywhere, too.
No, it's not even just about that. It's just about the constant drama, you know? Like, you really don't I don't feed off that stuff, you know what I mean? And it's really kind of crazy how, like, it just looks, you know?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Okay, so season 2, it was all about, you know, Duchess and the Queen of Duchess type thing.
Yes.
And you kind of fell out with her. Would you say that was the beginning of the fallout between you and Cease?
No. The actual fallout actually started when season 1 started. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of extraness. Once like you get a TV show, you start seeing how people start reacting and calling themselves the boss. That was never something that anybody's ever done. You know what I mean? And people claiming they signed people's checks, which is lies. You know what I mean? So when you have somebody constantly lying, saying I'm a boss, I signed your check, which is bullshit. It's not true. How much can you take of it? You know, and that's what I bug out about a lot of the people. They just allow the bullshit. You know.
Right. So okay. So
am I allowed to curse? I'm sorry. Am I allowed to curse? I have a
yeah. Go do it. I mean, be you. Do what you need to do. It's all good.
All right. I'm sorry about that.
No. It's all good. It's unedited, so you just go ahead. I don't care. Like we can curse. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. But that's the hard part about it. Like even if you've seen last week's interview, last week's episode, the photo shoot was being paid for. That's a lie. Like a blatant no lie. There was no money involved at all. We actually did do the photo shoot. If you go back and look at Black Ink magazine that ever came out, it's me, Sassy, Duchess, and Ceasar on it. They came extremely late to it. They came extremely late to the photo shoot, and there was no money. Nobody got paid at all. So when you hear me say about the lawyers on the show, that was because my image was on the magazine and there was no money given.
Okay, so when you, like 2 episodes back, when you guys had that sit down, you said, I'm going to just contact my lawyers. Basically,
that was because
talking about that.
Yes, I was talking about business. It was nothing. It has nothing to do with the fight. The fight was the fight. You know what I mean? It happened. But now they didn't show where he starts claiming he's worth all this amount of money in my face, and I don't have no money. He starts talking about money. They didn't show this, but he starts talking about money. So I'm like, well, if you're talking about money so much, why don't you take my image off your magazine that you never paid me for? You know what I mean? And that's why you hear him talking about money in the next scene, because they try to clean up themselves when they know what they've said already. You know what I mean? You never paid me. That no money was ever offered. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of lies, and I don't understand. I try to be 100 with the people, and you have a lot of other people that try to be liars on the show, and it's messed up, you know?
Yeah, no, I can imagine. That's why there's so many things that I've been seeing on the show this season, and I'm like going, well, what the fuck? What's really going on?
Yeah. I don't know if you follow me on any social media. My hashtag is Paint Me the Villain. If you understand what that means, you know.
Okay.
I realize that.
No.
But that's what
I was going to ask you, because I felt like that's what they're doing with you this season, is making you the villain, and I'm kind of like, I was looking at your like, I'll put it like this. I was looking at your Twitter feed, and you said, like, I was looking at the thing, and you said, I own 20%. So that means you own 20% of Black Ink, or?
No. Ink, it was the point that if you watch the show, they were claiming I was an employee. Oh, he doesn't own nothing, right? You know, they kept saying that Puma doesn't own nothing. But then all of a sudden, Duchess says his little 20%. So wait, can y'all get your story correct? If I'm an employee, how do I own 20% then? And then this is when you catch them in the lie. This is why I try to with my social media, I try to let y'all see their lies, and you catch them in it. You know what I mean? Like, they blatantly lie on television just to get scenes, and it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? I personally just don't like it. I'm not for that. You know what I mean? If you want to see my life, you watch my life and what I actually do. I'm not going to lie on somebody just to get drama made up and do extra.
Well, right, because they're kind of making you look like a liar on the show right now, and I'm kind of feeling like because you fell out, are they just cutting you out of scenes and kind of creating this storyline for you where it's just like you, even though you filmed, all your scenes are like not there. And I saw that you proved that you were at Oh Shit's.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I was the first person to buy a painting. I was the first person to buy a painting as soon as I walked in, and then Ceasar and them staring at me with the dirty looks. Then they buy a painting. But the way they made it seem is like they were just there, the only person that support them, and you know, I didn't come at all, and you know, and it was just weird. I'm looking at, I'm like, wow, it's crazy. And they like I was there. I was literally there the whole time. I have the painting that I bought from that show right over my television all the time. So it's like, it's weird. You know, it's just paint me the villain. That's what I've been running with. That's
right. No, I get it, and that's like I've just been kind of questioning a lot of stuff because it just seems like, okay, now it's all like white fences and a house on the way for Ceasar and Duchess, and it's all just perfect and it's bliss. But then it's the fight with you and Kwani against them, and they're kind of like pitching you guys against each other. And I'm kind of like trying to figure out, and what I would like to do with this interview today is kind of like have you just, set the record straight on everything.
No, that's no problem. That's not an issue. Like, basically, what it is one, if you realize Ink 124 is there, you know what I mean? And that was a conflict right there. If you personally heard him say that, he had a problem with that. And you know that there's a bigger situation beyond us. Like, at the end of the day, y'all watching us on TV, but there's a bunch of other people that's behind us that are taking care of this, you know what I mean? So if you have somebody constantly complaining about something and they're in fear of something or they're not feeling something, they're going to complain about it. And they have enough power. I'm not going to lie, they do have a little bit more power on the show because the Black Ink show is filmed in the Black Ink tattoo studio, you know what I mean? So it is what it is with that. But it was just a lot of animosity.
They didn't want to come to your event.
They didn't. They would never let me come. Like, they never would. I would throw parties and these really cool events, like, and they would never come. I had the whole cast, everybody else, even people that work there that you don't see on the show on Black Ink would come to Puma's parties at Ink 124. The two people who never came, Ceasar and Duchess, never showed up. The one time they ever came to Ink 124 is a scene they never showed. They tried to come up when I wasn't there to make it look like I was closed down. And it's like, and I'm catching all these things, and I'm like, I was getting mad. Yeah, like, it's like they were like spreading rumors about my shop, like, and I was catching on to this, and that was a problem. And I'm going like, yo, what is the deal with these people? Like, why are they going so hard? You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing my own thing. Like, I literally was not worrying about them the whole time. You really don't understand, but they really went out their way to make sure that, there's drama with Puma. Like,
well, they've made you guys a storyline, and they're saying that you're talking shit in the street.
Yeah, but
basically bad-mouthing them.
Yeah, but that's the messed up part about it. Like, even with the whole chicken wing thing, like, what if I told you that scenes were flipped and flopped? And what if I walked in there with an attitude because there was a scene that was shot that I was already upset about something, and then I was forced to go to Black Ink? Wait, hold
on, I'm going to do like this. Is that what happened?
Yeah. You know what I mean? There was a scene that was shot before, and there was, like, stuff that was said, and I knew about this, and then you're obligated to do certain scenes some places, so I'm obligated sometimes that I have to go to Black Ink. If you do follow our Twitter feeds, me and Sassy do the Marshawn Lynch a lot. I'm just here so I don't get fined.